What are your dreams? What are your wants? Do you want to grow your business? Help you crush your goals personally, professionally, and financially? Just join the conversation. What's up, guys? Welcome to the call. Newcomers, I got fire in the gut today, man. We're talking about the greatest thing in the world, which is change. So all my newcomers, those watching on the recording, these calls are all about defining the game. They're truly about defining what you want to play in life and how you want to get started doing it, man. Like, literally, I always talk about that. Like, how does one get started? By just taking a step. Like, how does one win the game of life? By swinging the bat or baseball. How does one make a shot? By shooting, right? Just get started to learn and define the game that's playing for you. Look at the whole intention is to help you in any way, shape, or form to show you what I've done and to continue to do every single day to really crush your dreams. And my hope through the whole thing is that you take away some of these tips and tricks. You take away some of the little tools that I'm going to give you, these little nuggets, and start implementing these every single day and win the game you call life. Guys, because life is nothing but a game. Life is nothing but a journey that you can take every single day. You can be fired up, you cannot be fired up, and you have that choice every single day. But if you can just treat it like something fun, like when you're a kid, it's just a game, it doesn't become that serious. So I'm hoping that with all these strategies and all these tools that I give you, that's exactly how you treat it. It's just a game. It's just, don't make it too big. Don't make it too down. They always say to just stay within your emotion, stay within your own self. Like, don't get too high, don't get too low. Just stay kind of even keel. Now, I'm a guy with fire, right? And why do I have fire? I'm a guy born and raised in Flint, Michigan. I'm a doctor of dental surgery. For some of you on the call, I'm a dentist. That's where I thought my career was going to be. Actually, I thought I was going to be a baseball player. Thought I was going to be a professional athlete. I got a full ride to go to college to play, and then I decided that's not for me. And then I decided to be a musician. Some of you might know that fun fact. I was on a boy band. I might have been the original Backstreet Boys or NSYNC or something like that. And maybe one day on these calls I'll sing for you. I think the only one with the thumbs up that knows I'm a singer is maybe Gabby, who's on this call, but she's way better than me. I couldn't even put a pimple on her. You know what I mean? Like, she's that talented. But with that said, I always was trying to follow a path, trying to figure out what to do. So I was constantly changing myself. I was constantly evolving to really what made me lit up and made me have passion. And then, when I really found out, when I honed it all in, was that I wanted to honor my grandfather who died of throat cancer. So that's when I decided to be a dentist. And then dentistry led me to this. Led me to, hopefully I can help other people make an impact and grow with me. So for some of you who don't know my name, I'm Dr. Bobby Grossi. That was a little bit of background on me, but the whole intention of this week, the whole intention of this call is to talk about how you can how change can be a good thing and how change is absolutely the most important thing you could do in your life. I mean, if you're not changing, you're growing. Do you guys understand that with just a thumbs up? If you're not changing, you're not growing. Because if you think about it, right? If you're not evolving as a person, if you're not changing even as a youthful child, if you're not doing certain things, right, you're never evolving, you're never growing, you're never changing. You must change to grow. And one of the biggest things that people, I think, get stale in and people get stagnant in is they stop changing. They stay the same. And staying the same is actually death. It's not only death personally, emotionally, but it's death even in business. You cannot stay the same and grow. It's physiologically impossible. I mean, if you put a seed in the ground, it's a seed. What has to happen to that seed? You got to water it and nurture it, and then it changes to a tree. It changes to something bigger. Life and evolution is all about change. And people are so worried about change. I'm looking right in this camera. They're so worried about changing something, in fear that it won't work out, in fear that it's not going to be good, that they stay the same, and then they wonder why they're exactly where they're at. Guys, I can rock in a rocking chair every single day, and I can do this every single day, and I'm changing my motion, but I'm not changing for progress. So, big difference. Not only do you want to change, but you want to change for progression, change to become better, change to become more significant, change to improve yourself. That's what you're always changing. You're always going to start out as an elementary student. You're always going to start out as something as a kindergartner. I mean, if you laugh at me, Ken might laugh on this call. I might be a fifth grader in technology, like I'm sitting here, but I need to constantly change and evolve myself to become better so that maybe I can master a trait. But what really is the measure of intelligence? According to Albert Einstein, the measurement of intelligence is the ability to change, right? We must understand our own capacity for growth. Change can teach us to adapt and help us develop resiliency. but only if we understand our own capacity for growth and learning. When change makes us better, is because we have learned how to turn a challenging situation to our own advantage. Not merely because change happens, of one life as constantly as change, right? So think about that. Think about that statement. Change is the measure of intelligence. I don't know about you, but if you stay the same and you're, just with the thumbs up, guys, just with the thumbs up or anything like that, have you ever been stuck in a situation because you're living somewhere in the past? Have you ever been stuck in a situation because you refuse to do anything different? The only thing holding you back is you refuse to change. The only thing holding you back is you refuse to do something different. You have to, like, even in dentistry, when we evolved, or when I evolved as dentistry, I started out as being just a guy who graduated dental school. Just a guy who was just trying to find its way. How do I even do a filling? I mean, you might laugh about it, but how do I find a filling? And then as time went on, I started to change things and doing different strategies and studying ways and changing how to be a father and changing how to be a great husband and changing how to be a better clinician, and then adding these things to my repertoire to become better. Because if you don't change, you don't ever grow. And so that's why change is probably the most powerful benefits in life is change. And that's why we just need to learn how to embrace it, because change is what takes you from here to there. So anytime somebody says, hey, I want you to do something differently, anytime I want you to do things totally differently, guys, that's just a way to reinvent yourself. Sweet. Let me do something different to get a different outcome. Because if you can do something different to get a different outcome, you're one step ahead of growing. But what happens in every field we're in, we get so comfortable of doing the things that we've always done that we just stay stagnant. We maintain the same, and that is death. That is just absolute business death. That is personal death. That is people living in their comfort zone. I mean, we talk about people working out all the time, and the only change that happens when you don't move, the wrong change, right? See, because life's going to happen no matter what. Life is moving no matter what. You get to decide the change. You have the power. You have the power to decide, to choose to change in a positive direction or negatively. Sometimes it's subconsciously, and you're changing in the negative direction because you stop growing, because you're not intentional about the change. When I'm on these calls with you guys, I'm intentional about how I want to change. This is called growing with Grossi. You're growing with me. You are allowing me to change in a positive direction, but it's my intentionality. It's what I speak to you. It's how I frame it that allows me to grow or not grow. Right? So if you do not want to create change, change will create you. I want you to hear that again. If you don't want to create change, change will create you. I don't know about you, but I want to have control of my life. I want to cause and create my destiny. How many of you guys on this call want to cause and create your future? How many of you guys listening to this just really want to dominate the thing you called life? How many people on this call really, truly want to have the life that they know they deserve and want? Every one of you. Every one of you. So we are often resistant to change, and we don't realize that change itself is constant. It's always going to happen. You're always changing every day, good or bad. I just choose to try to change in the positive. Even if you resist it or avoid it, it will enter your life and suck you dry if you choose to. It will literally cause and create anything. It'll cause depression. It will cause anxiety. It's going to happen. When you initiate the change yourself, though, it's pretty easy to adapt it. Since it's what you want. It's what everyone wants. But what are the unplanned and unexpected changes are bad, right? So if you truly want something, just choose to change it. What is it? If you want to be a better parent, wake up every day, say, this is how I want to be. Study the people that are better parents and work in those behaviors every single day to get that change in your life. You can cause and create anything you want. You don't believe me? It happens to me every single day. Change your behavior, change your attitude, but it all comes by just changing something. Change your hairstyle, for God's sakes. Change something that's going to get you to believe and have that fire in your gut to go in general. You know what I mean? We seriously, I don't get the understanding of the importance of why people resist this thing we call change. I mean, if you had a magic wand right now and everyone's could just vision and dream, and I know I talk really fast, so I'm trying to just slow down a little bit. What you want, if you truly could change something, every one of us just with a thumbs up or a heart would change one thing in their life right now. They could literally say, I would want to change this. How many of your people, how many times every single day do you believe that? All the time. What's holding you back? What is it? A fear of not getting the change you inspired to get? A fear of somebody looking at you differently? What's holding you back from the change? Because see, what you don't listen to, most people don't listen to, they don't listen to their intuition and their gut. If something in their head is telling them to change, whether it's the Holy Spirit, whether it's your own intuition, whether it's your own power of you, whether it's who you inspire to be, listen to it and do it. Take that step in that direction. Man, we're not going to hit a home run. I was on a call with Richie Dolan today, and he talked about how the Toronto Blue Jays, they were always trying to hit home runs, but yet the other team was just playing small ball. See, so many times we're trying to hit home runs in life. It's not about the home runs. That's not what gives lasting change. You might throw that, we talked about before in the past, of that big boulder that falls in that water, right? And it makes a big splash initially, but do you win the game of life? No. You know what changes? It's that constant incremental approach every single day to become the best version of yourself. That is the desired change. Whatever you want to go after, whatever that thing is down to your core and your gut that you want, work on that and change. Man, there are criminals in prison that can change to become great. There are people that start out bad that change to be great. There's people that start out good that change in the bad direction. Why? Because they stop movement. You got to be intentionality of your change. You got to you got to decide what you want. You are the actor of your own story. You are the person that gets to rewrite their narrative every single day. Right? People are so stuck in the past, they refuse to change. They stay comfortable 5 years later, like, why have I not grown? Because changes happened to them anyway. They didn't have an intentionality of change. Thumbs up just with that analogy, that understanding. So, in general, when you're looking back, I realize that all good things in life are results of change that occurred in the past. I realize that. They're not all good or bad. People usually avoid change and prefer to stay in their little comfort zones. Right? But I am a true believer that once you get the courage and take that first step, like we said, swinging that bat, shooting that ball in the basket, when you take that first step, changing your life will become way easier. Way easier. Because when you get in the habit to constantly change, when you get in the habit to constantly wanting to better yourself, when you get in the habit of truly getting different outcomes in your life, that's when you crush it. Richie Dolan, I was on the call with Richie today, and I can't, it's the first guy that said this, his name was Henry. I don't know his last name, so I'm just going to give this guy named Henry the credit because Richie was talking so fast. And it was so fitting that I heard this on the call today. Understand, I get coached. I get coached every single week, whether it's with Ken, whether it's with Richie, or whether it's with Legacy Group, but I have a coach too. And he said this phrase, and I'm going to say this really slowly, which is uncommon for me. To exist is to change. Let's just start with that. To exist is to change. So if you're never changing, you're truly not existing in this world. You are just in this world. You don't even matter. So ready? To exist is to change. To change is to mature. And to mature is to go on and create oneself endlessly. To exist is to change. To change is to mature. And to mature is to go on to create oneself endlessly. If you're constantly changing, you now exist. By change, you become more mature. You learn new ways to do certain things. And now when you mature and you change, you become endless. I mean, wow. Wow, just when you think change is just change. Just when you think change doesn't matter. I don't know about you. I want to live a life of legacy. I want to make the greatest impact in everybody's life, not only mine. So I must constantly evolve and change and become the best version of myself every single day to live an endless life, to make a difference. How many of you just with the heart want that? How many of you inspire to be that? then what's holding you back? You have the power in your hands. Nobody can tell you what to do but you. You have that choice. We talk about choice. It's another C word. You have a choice every single day to make a difference or not. You have a choice every single day to do something the same or do something just a little bit different. Like Mama's recipe, like the Italian recipe, like the making the pasta sauce. Grandma Grossi used to do it a certain way. She'd do this. Guess what happens over time? It evolves to a different sauce, and now my mom's sauce is dominant. But then guess what I'm going to think? How can I make that sauce even better? Like, how can I put a little bit of oregano in there, a little bit of touch of my 3 cheeses? That's my secret, by the way. A little bit of cheeses, and all I did was change something. See, life is not a blueprint or roadmap that other people have laid the foundation. But you can make it your own. You can change it and tweak it. You can do certain things that fit within your standards. Dental school taught us how to pass a board. Every dentist that comes out of dental school is the exact same. They have the same skill set. It's how they tweak it and change it to make it their own, to where they get the most growth. What do they do with that knowledge? What do you do with that ability? What do you do every single day? So some of the benefits of change are what? Some of them are personal growth. You grow and learn new things every time something changes. You discover new insights in different aspects of your life. You learn lessons even from the changes that do not lead you to where you want to be. So even changing, if you want to go in a positive direction, but somehow you got resistance there and it didn't turn out to your outcome, that change still led to personal growth. So I already just showed you a benefit of change. Secondly, you become more flexible. Frequently, changes make you easily to adapt to new situations, new environments, and even new people. And as a result, you don't freak out when something unexpectedly happens. Like if you guys know me, I'm so used to change, my goodness. It's like, whatever, I just got to change something. You guys are there too. And everybody on this call must love adaptability and flexibility and change because you're used to it. You're used to the naysayers. Actually, I'll be honest with you. People are so used to negative news, but they're not used to positive news. I mean, if I said to someone today, oh my God, you look amazing today, they'll go, oh, no, I don't. No, thank you. They don't like that. But if I said, oh my God, this world's coming to an end, they all agree with that. They're used to negative stuff. They're never used to positive stuff. And then finally, what else can change? I can give you improvements, right? We all have things in our lives we like to improve on. Finances, jobs, your partner, your house, etc., your kids, make them clean the house, that'd be great. All of us know that nothing will improve by itself. So we need to do things differently to make that happen. And without change, there'd be no improvements. So guys, without change to the first car, without change to how to run a business, without change in everything, you're never going to grow. And so even at life values, from time to time, changes make you reevaluate your own life and look at things from a different perspective. Mine all the time. And depending on what your change is, it may also reinforce your life values. So you have flexibility, improvements, your own life values. You learn so much through change. You learn so much, even through good or bad change, what you really want in your life or what you don't want in your life. You're going to learn things that, hey, I changed this. I don't really like that. So then you tweak it. And then you go over here and you change it and I tweak it. The difference between a lot of people and the 1%ers, especially you on the call, is are you willing to take that step to change? Most people will not. They stay in their comfort zone. So we talk about people who all of a sudden gain 20 pounds. What do? They stay in those little elastic waistbands. And they don't realize they're gaining weight and life is just happening to them. They're eating bonbons and all their other stuff. They're not really committed to it. All of a sudden they go, oh my God, I changed. And how did I gain 20 pounds? Well, you obviously changed for the worse because I just said earlier, life's going to happen either way. It's your intentionality to grow or not grow. Do you want to be significant or not significant? Are you even aware of what you want to do or are you not aware of what you want to do? Even with change, there's this thing called the snowball effect, right? Often we go up because we cannot accomplish that difficult task of making a huge and immediate change. This is when small changes become extremely valuable. One shift at a time, small changes eventually lead to the desired big one. I talk to my staff every day in dentistry, and it's kind of like the wheel. You got to get the wheel to spin. You got to get the snowball that starts out as a small snowball to turn into this big snowball. Create that avalanche, if you will. Like I said, we talked about somebody trying to hit a home run, right? Sometimes you can't hit a home run. Just hit the single. I always say to people, I'm a baseball guy, just hit a single. Just start the wheel to spin. Just take the step in the direction to change. And that's why most diets fail. People want to change overnight. They want to lose 20 pounds overnight. They're not consistent. They're not doing incremental wins versus monumental. Ken Joslin, one of my other friends, talks about incremental, not monumental. So you want to do things incrementally every single day to get that desired change, right? That's when you're planning. That's when you're writing stuff down. What is it that you want? Guys, you can't just wake up one day and become a millionaire. You can't wake up one day and become the best parent. You can't wake up one day and become the best business partner. You can't wake up one day and have a magic wand and not go from elementary student to a doctor. It just doesn't happen. It happens incrementally and steps by steps. It's a snowball effect. You know, in dentistry, I always talk about, once again, put the patient in that's going to generate revenue. I know this sounds crazy because I'm a dentist and I'm talking about sales and revenue, but hey, it's a business. I don't care if you're from McDonald's. Sell a cheeseburger, right? Sell a fry. Sell something in the morning to get the wheels to spin and create that snowball effect. Ride the momentum. And games are won and lost by momentum. Games are won and lost by momentum. You see it all the time in sports. Sorry to pick on Ken, who's from Canada, but Toronto Blue Jays were up by like 8 runs. I think they blew like an 8th or 9th inning lead, and all that happened is the wheels started to fall off. A team started creating momentum, and and all of a sudden they couldn't catch up. They couldn't stop the momentum, because momentum's a powerful thing. The snowball effect is powerful. And realize, even when you're stopped moving, the circle's still spinning. You could throw that snowball down a hill, and it's still moving for you, even if you stop. The hardest thing to do is just start. That's the hardest thing to do and change. Hey, Dr. Grossi, what's your secret? Just move. Movement will never create depression. Let me say that again. If you're moving, you cannot be depressed. If you're moving to growth, you can never be depressed. It's those that stop moving that become anxious and depressed. I've seen it in my own life. I've seen it in other people's lives. I coach and mentor people all the time. It's those, he's laughing at the Toronto Blue Jays, sorry. Those that stop moving are the ones that come depressed. Because remember, there's human needs, growth and significance. We talked about this. Growth and significance are the 2 biggest human needs, one of the 6 human needs that Tony Robbins talks about. If you don't change, you never grow. And if you're not growing, you're not significant. So that's where depression and anxiety comes in. So the snowball effect is huge. What's another positive change? Strength. Because not all changes lead you to the pleasant periods of your life, right? Unfortunately, we do not live in this fairy tale, in this great life, and sad things happen. So overcoming the tough period will make you stronger. So even with change, we've all lost loved ones. We've all been hurt. We've all felt that pain. I had a rough time in dental school, not sleeping. And I remember falling in that pit and realizing, how am I going to overcome this? I've had many failures in my life, just like I'm sure some of you have. But that's when all the strength comes in. That's when you realize you're capable of more. That's when you realize, maybe on that faith, and say, okay, all I got to do is just get narrow focused and take that step in that direction. Every one of you can take a step. Every one of you can change your thought pattern. Every one of you can change the way you view things in life. Every one of you have this superpower to become the best you, only if you desire to change. And then progress, right? With change, there's triggers progress. Things move forward and develop because of them. That's huge. That's when you start generating results in your life. That's when you started creating new opportunities in your life. That's when you get the new beginnings and you develop these new routines. Because of the other things is opportunities. One never knows what each change will bring. Guys, just waking up 2 years ago, while everyone else, or not, 3 years ago almost to this point, I apologize, we had this thing called COVID. And yes, we shut down for 3 months, but life didn't continue to change. It's changed dramatically in 3 years. How we do things changes. And you can either become a part of the change or you can influence the change. So when you say, how do you meet the Ken K's of the world? How did you meet the Richie Dolans of the world? While everyone else was watching Netflix, I was thinking of ways to change for my betterment, even in an adverse situation. So with that strength, things weren't happening right in COVID. But if anybody knows me, I refuse to give in to what the world says. I'm constantly evolving to change for me, to become the best version of me, whatever that takes. If it means a lack of sleep, cool. If it means more study time, cool. If it means to lead my team, cool. You all have that ability to change. It's how badly you want it. And then new opportunities open up. When I do that, opportunities come in. I get all these things. Like, how do you get Stir and Gold to speak to you? I just open up doors. I don't close them. And I jump in. Don't worry about life not working out. I'll ask you this question, deep into the soul of this camera. How's it working out for you now? How do you think it's going to work out if you stay the same? I'll bet you can predict it. That's what's amazing. I can predict anybody that refuses to change. I can tell you what they're going to be in 5 to 10 years. Don't be that statistic. Be that person that truly wants to change. Be that person that knows exactly what they want. Develop those new beginnings. Develop those new routines in your life. Use that planner that we talk about to help create that change. Change your thought pattern. Jot down some ideas of things that you might want to make you happy and why you want to do it. Why is it important to you? Why do you want to continue to change? What is it? What can you cause and create? Like for me, I set time in my schedule every single day and I go through my thoughts and I make sure that they're being positive and I'm a solution oriented, right? I'm literally, I respond, I can't like I truly have replaced I can with how can I? I truly consciously think of what could I have done differently today that I can do better tomorrow? Like, what do I need to change today so that tomorrow is better than what today was? And if you're constantly trying to hit a single every single day, if you're constantly trying to just get that change for the betterment, and you're really thinking down deep to your core, you're never going to lose the thing called life. It cannot happen. You'll become that better spouse. You'll become that better friend. You'll become that better mother or father. You'll become that better business owner or entrepreneur or employee or whatever it is, because you're constantly changing. You know what's when you change so fast, you become I really hope, I know I'm talking on tangent a little bit, but I pray to God that after these calls, you have changed so much in a year's time that you don't even remember the old you. If you're the same person you were a year ago, I'm going to be honest with you, you failed. If you're the same person you were last week, you're kind of failing. You never fail if you continue to try to improve yourself. You never fail if you continue to try to change. Change is a great thing. Change is probably the greatest gift God has ever given us, is the ability to free will to change and to make that choice. So guys, in closing, please submit your ideas of what your purpose would be from this planner. You can email me at the info@thedentistco.com. If you truly want to grow, then you'll get this to me. It's that simple. And then tell other folks, tell other people, hey, you need to check this dude out, Growing with Grossi. You got to jump on his YouTube channel. Email me, text message me. How do you want him to improve your life? How can I help you improve your life? Man, take what I'm doing and do it yourself. You want to create massive change, to do what I'm doing and just do it. Because the next topic we're going to talk about, which is the most important topic, I promise you, is commitment versus interest. So many people have an interest to do a lot of things. But if you truly are committed, it's going to lead you to all your dreams you ever wanted to. But guess what? It always starts with change. Because you might have an interest in one thing, but you must change your mindset to now make it a commitment, and why. Guys, I hope this touches you as much as you bless me. I hope these calls matter to you as much as they matter to me. I hope you're getting as much out of these calls as I'm getting out of them. I'm so committed to your success. I'm so committed to how I can serve you that I'm just asking you to submit some things in an email. I'm asking you to put something on paper to tell me how I can help you. Put something in the chat next week. Do something, because I have some regulars jumping back on this. What is it that you truly want to hear about? I'm putting an agenda based on what I think you want. But feel free to email us. Tell us any topic you want to talk about. Let me help you crush it. Because I promise you, if you're thinking about it, I've already gone through it, I'm going through it with you. You might as well grow together. You might as well do this thing together. That's what this is about. Last question, what's holding you back? Don't let fear hold you back. Don't let a lack of change hold you back or wanting to change. Allow that change to be the power source in your life. And so that allow that change to then turn, I'm going to change and I'm committed to my change. It's no longer an interest. By golly, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do X, Y, Z to crush my dreams. From the bottom of my heart, with much love, I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. And I can't wait to help you crush your dreams just like you're helping me crush mine. May God bless you all. We'll talk soon.